Hey, my name is Patrick Spano. I'm the wrestling coach here at Kaizen, Tampa, and today we're going to go over hand fighting from like an intermediate range. Today we're going to talk about hand fighting, and just like we're going to talk about very generally, okay? There's lots of different elements and different things we can do in hand fighting, but let's just go over it like if you don't know anything about wrestling, okay? So, I heard a coach tell little kids, think of hand fighting as wrist, muscle, and then our tie, okay? Which is obviously a gross oversimplification of it. But it's a good way to plan it, right? Because I don't want to just go and reach my partner, okay? So let's talk about wrists first, okay? We'll talk about the wrist first. Whenever I grab a wrist, I'm gonna grab it, I'm gonna connect my thumb and my middle finger here, okay? Over his veins, right? This is the best way for me to control it. And for here, I can push it into him, I can pull him, okay? If I want to get my wrist out here, I can't just go here. My wrist is very, very weak this way, okay? I turn the bone to where the fingers meet, and then I take it out, okay? A lot of people like figure this out naturally, honestly. They're here, and they come here to get it out, okay? But you can't, if it's here, it's really hard to get it out. I gotta turn that bone there and take it out. And then if he's got a really, really strong grip, I just have to grab his grip and then take it out, okay? But generally, like, all of our ties in wrestling have like a very short expiration date. Oh, one more way to get the wrist out. You got one of these guys that really just comes all the way to your wrist, you got a really strong grip. Knee it off, and hit him with the bone right on his wrist bone, okay? I guarantee he's gonna think twice about grabbing your wrist. And when I first learned this, I kind of was like worried about getting single leg. No, I've never been taken down off that. Normally the person, if anything, they just let go when they want to get their hand out of there because it hurts like hell. One of the cool things I like about having the wrist too is that anytime I grab a wrist straight on, I have a drag, right? Or I'm close to a drag at least. Anytime I grab a cross wrist here, I have a pass. And with those, and I can combine those with shots. The drag, obviously, I can get around straight to his back sometimes. But those are the two main things that I really like to look for here while I'm going on the wrist. Now we talk about the wrist, let's talk about the muscle, right? Really, I'm grabbing like pinky above the elbow on the tricep, right? I can be in here sometimes, but let's talk about this tricep, okay? Two things that I really like to do is, that I really coach, especially for beginners, is an elbow pass, okay? Personally, I don't have the best elbow pass because I started doing it in college. Beginning wrestlers, if you can just get it automatic in your head to pass that elbow, pass that elbow, pass that elbow, pass that elbow, it becomes automatic, like it's really dangerous. So when I do the elbow pass, I do it when he comes through my head. Okay, I gotta get this like as it's coming to my head, because if he's already on this collar tie, it's really hard to, get that over. So he's gonna come to my head, and I'm gonna look this way as I pass this, okay? When I pass, I gotta extend this arm completely here, and I'm trying to pin it towards the far hip here, okay? As you can see, I've cut him in half now. I'm in great position to take it. I don't wanna let go of that pass until I'm already in contact with his leg. Another thing I like to do is an elbow pull from here. And let's do it on this side too. This works really well, especially if I've already passed him. If I've already passed him, and I don't even necessarily need to have taken him down, but I'm passing it, he's constantly having to clear it, right? It's getting annoying. So with this one, he's gonna have it like a little bit more of a grip on here. And what I'll do is I'll just give him that straight into him and push this here, okay? As he comes back into me, I throw it behind me and I drop step. So he's here, I push. When I feel that back, I'm in here. Okay, and if I do this right, you see how Morty's on his toes, he's kind of teeter-tottering over my shoulder like this. This is ideal, this is where I want him to be. Because then he's so off balance, it makes it really easy for me to just. I can pass it too, if he is real hard on my neck, but I really gotta create some movement here, and I'm gonna pop the shit out of his head when I do this too. Okay, so, Morty, give me like a good strong grip. As I do this, right, I really have to shrug. All right, this shrug really loosens this grip here, okay? But what I'm gonna do is I'm already gonna start moving this way, and I'm gonna really pop his head here, and then pass it off. And I'm doing the same pass, I'm putting it in the same place, but I really gotta loosen that grip up, right? And I really gotta take his mind off it for a second. So I'm in here, 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 and then I can follow that up, same type of shot. The elbow pass and the elbow pull are great, and let's skip to the head for a second. We'll come back to the muscle, just because I like to always show these three in a sequence. The other one I really like to do is a post and snap. Okay, so I've passed, I've pulled, I'm hand fighting, boom, here. Then he gives me like a nice straight arm now, right? He might even post it on my shoulder, right? Either way, okay? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna post this arm and I'm gonna snap his head at the same time, okay? So, again, I've got to extend this all the way up. I extend my arm completely straight, okay? That's just not enough. I'm going to snap and change my levels at the same time, okay? You can see he's discombobulated here, and he's really gonna rip that head up. When he does, I'm in on my shot. Got some of my prettiest high crotch doubles ever off this setup. So again, you know, I've been boom, moving him around. He posts that here. But let's go back to these muscles again, right? These triceps. I can do my high crotches and my sweeps from here. I can also do ducks. The possibilities are endless here. So let's just talk about real quick high crotches and sweeps, okay? So the important thing, I'm gonna move them in a circle, right? Either way I move them, I'm in a circle. The important thing here is to keep my attack foot forward, right? So many times when we start moving in circles, guys come here and then it's like, oh, let's go. And it's go. Right? But I gotta keep that right foot forward so I'm ready to fire, right? So I'm ready to shoot. So all I'm gonna do here is I'm just moving him in a circle, okay? I'm gonna keep this tight. I'm not gonna come here with this. It's my stance and my movement that's gonna make him move, okay? So I'm coming away from him to get that leg towards me, okay? And when I do this, I circle, I plant and pull, and I stay there. And then he's right with me. Obviously I do have to pull him some with my arms, right? But I want to keep this tight in here. Okay, and then the other way, exact same thing. And the circle this way is a little trickier, right? Because I can just kind of shuffle. This time, I'm coming here. Okay? All I'm doing is opening this up and coming into my shot, okay? But when I do this, and honestly, like the sweep, I'll pull him in a circle like that. This one is like, I kind of like give a pop, a step, and I'm in, okay? But I'm gonna open up this tricep here, okay? And as I come here, I have to draw the gun, okay? If I leave this out here, Morty's gonna underhook me. Maybe I can turn this into a fireman if I'm lucky, but 9 out of 10 times, it just turns into a bad scramble. And then the other thing that I really like to do from the muscle, right, is a V-block. And this goes on the inside of his elbow here, okay? It's a great way to just control the tie here, right? If he's trying to tie up with me and we're hand fighting in here, it's a great way to control the tie, but I really like it to set up a sweep single, okay? And I'm moving forward, again, in my stance to him. Once I'm gonna feel this pressure right here, right? It's the first thing that starts going when he tries to come back here. And when he does, that foot comes forward. And all I do is I bring this hand in, down to my hip, And then I'm ready to shoot. Again, I'm just walking forward in my wrestling stance. Here, comes back. My hand just goes here, and then here. And then if you're a big guy, for example, you don't even have to shoot, right? If you're like 185 and above, just snatch it. No reason to even hit your knee. All right, so we did a little bit of wrist, we did a little bit of muscle. We're going to the head now. Okay, if I want to reach to the head, I don't want to reach with my same side lead leg hand, right? I do this, this is when Morty passes my elbow. Okay, and that's why the elbow pass works so well, because everybody goes here, 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 right? So we're gonna reach with our rear leg side hand, okay? And I'm going from low to high. I'm not gonna windmill this and come up to his head. I'm keeping my elbow down, I'm coming here. Once I'm in contact, I can change over. That's fine, okay? But I don't wanna reach with that same side hand. I'm just leaving this like completely open. Here, and you'll see some like guys from like Minnesota, they love to wrestle like this just because they're always protecting their lead leg. But again, I'm coming to the head here. Okay, the thing about the head is where the head goes, the body follows. You know? Anywhere I take that head, okay, he's gonna go. So let's actually, before we even get into moving him, there's a little trick that I like to do. And sometimes when you reach with that opposite leg and the rear leg hand, he'll just over top. When he does that, he's completely open. Okay, so I used to do that in college a lot. I just kind of come out like real casual and then just here and see, come straight to that high crotch. So that's a little trick. That's guys not always going to do that, but more times than not they do. So just be ready for it. With the head, I like to do everything based on windshield wipers, I call them. Okay, some people call it a steering wheel too. Okay, but what I'm gonna do here is one hand's on the head, one hand's on the muscle. Okay, give me an outside try, one. So what I'm gonna do with this is I'm gonna put his ear to his shoulder here. Okay, and I can't go against the neck here. I kind of gotta take this like where, and I use my forearm here so I can stay on the head, but like where, if you're wearing headgear, right on the cups of the headgear, okay? I'm bringing that in there. Okay. From here, I'm gonna circle away from him, okay? Then, I'll get windshield wiper over this side. So, I really like these because one, a lot of times I can just snap him down if I just, you know, I'm doing this with enough intensity and he might lose his balance, because when I pull this arm and I pin that here, it creates this like downward spiral, okay? And I really like this because, again, I do it this side, now I've got my sweep. I'm outside here, okay? I do it to the other side, now I've got my high crotch, okay? And the important thing about this is, again, I have to keep my dominant side foot forward, okay, my attack leg. If I come here, here, Morty moves it before I can get my right foot back into position to shoot. I can't shoot from a square stance, all right? Unless I'm wrestling Greco, there's no reason to be a square stance. From the windshield wipers, we come back and we can incorporate everything from here now, right? That's why I like, for me, windshield wipers is home base, okay? I'm here, I start moving around, and then Morty posts. Boom, now I have my post and snap, okay? I'm moving him here, he grabs on my head, I pass it. Same thing, I'm moving him, windshield wiper comes to the head, here, pull it. So, from the windshield wipers, I can really incorporate a lot of other stuff, a lot of the stuff we've already gone over. So for me, that's like my, like I said, like my home base. I really like windshield wipers, they're a big part of my game, and I feel like I can get into everything else from there too. I can even windshield wiper with the wrist, for example. And all of this is kind of like let's say if we're gonna put distances on things like we would in striking. Jordan Burroughs does a lot of stuff from like outsiders taking here, right? This is more of like our little intermediate range, okay? Because then the next range would be like here, getting in, underhooks, Russians, over and unders, double unders, double overs, that sort of thing. But yeah, this has been intermediate range hand fighting. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe for more content.